Okay, Nathan, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Volume is good?
I'm going to turn this up a little. Yep. Alright. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect.
Great.
Alright, so what we're going to do is, we got a taxi to the other end so that we're taking off into the wind.
Okay.
So we're going to cross the runway up here, right up here in front of us, and then we're going to drive on down to the far end, get in line. I see one guy taxiing, so we'll be behind him.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we're just letting the engine warm up. We got it, you know, it's low for startup, but anywhere from you know, like 2,500 to 3,000 RPM is a pretty typical warm-up RPM.
Would you like me to release the brake?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you.
25, okay.
I like to use 3,000 as a warm-up RPM.
Okay.
And we want to get the engine up to temperature before we go to full power. And we're looking at least 200 on the CHT as up to temperature.
Okay.
Okay, so before we cross the runway here, we need to just make sure that there's no one else on it. I don't see anybody on approach. There's no one on the runway itself, so I think we're okay to cross. We're just going to go straight across and get on the other side. There's only one taxiway and it's on the other side over there.
Gotcha.
At a busier airport with other traffic, we probably had to make a radio call to let everybody know what we were doing.
Sure.
At a towered airport, we would definitely need to get permission from the tower to cross the runway.
Okay.
But here, this is a non-towered or a pilot-controlled airport, meaning that the burden is on all of us pilots to kind of do what we need to do to just stay safe and coordinated.
Yeah.
And if there's no one to talk to, well, then there's no one to talk to. And if there is, then you probably ought to talk to him. Okay, everything feel okay up there? You situated? Seatbelt feels good? All that?
Yep. It looks like the CHT one is up higher than the other.
Yeah, one of them is broken.
Okay.
And that's something I'll change at the next annual inspection.
Sure.
When I stuffed the heater hose in there, I snagged the wire and broke it off.
Now, do you apply up or down rudder when you're taxiing around, or, I mean, elevator?
When the winds are higher, you need to put the elevator in the right position. When the winds are light, there's no need to.
Okay.
And right now the winds are fairly light.
Okay.
So there's a standard methodology to position the controls properly for the wind.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you what it is, but probably a little bit of overkill at this point.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you can feel me, I'm making small corrections on the rudders.
Yeah.
To keep us going straight.
Sure.
And again, I'm not overdoing it because it just takes a little bit to kind of nudge us left to right.
I've noticed that even going around that 90-degree corner, it took less than I anticipated.
Yeah. And you can over-control on the ground just as easy as in the air.
Sure.
Because you make a massive control input, and then you're chasing it. And then you do another massive control input to try to reel it in.
Yeah.
And then you're off in the weeds or, you know, whatever. The trick is to do less, but do it more often.
Okay.
Small movements continuously, not one big movement. Okay, so I'm going to let you taxi a little bit. I've got the control of the throttle here. Your throttle is right over here on the side rail.
Yeah.
And it's tied to my throttle also. I've got to set at a good taxi speed and a throttle setting.
Okay.
If we get going too fast, I'll roll some throttle back so we slow down and keep it under control. So from here, just small nudges on the rudder and just keep us going down the center line on the taxiway here.
Okay.
And if you think you need some brake, you can squeeze on that brake lever. They're very, very ineffective.
Yes.
So don't be surprised when nothing much happens.
Okay. I did notice that when I had it on and you spooled up at first.
Yeah. And, different brakes are more effective or less effective. I can't see how anything could be less effective than these brakes, though.
Ah, yeah. Are they hydraulic, or?
These are they're band brakes. Well, no, they're drum brakes, excuse me.
Oh, okay,
They're drum brakes, but they're cable actuated.
Ah, yes.
And, as they wear, the cables have to be readjusted,
Sure.
the cables stretch. There's a whole host of problems. Bottom line is these have never been very good.
Yeah.
So I use them just for maneuvering around the taxiway and on the ramp. they don't do a whole lot when you're trying to like decelerate on landing. That's got to be Jerry over there training his paraglider student.
Yeah, I saw them out early this morning. I ended up down that way, just trying to figure out where to go in the airport. They looked like they were having fun, 2 of them up there.
It is a lot of fun, but you know, it's just a different style of aviation.
Now, do you have your hand on the joystick back there at all?
I'm not touching it.
Yeah. So when you're taxiing, do you usually...
Middle traffic, Lance 3019 Kilo, departing on runway 33, right turn out eastbound.
I was gonna ask if you when you're taxiing, do you leave your hands off, or your choice?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
When there's very little wind, like there is right now, there's almost no wind.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a whole lot of the controls.
Sure.
When the wind is gusty or stronger, it'll flip the controls around, so you kind of keep a handle on it so that things aren't banging around.
Yeah.
And so you keep it in the proper condition. But like right now, you could say that it might be a good idea to get in the habit of keeping, the controls and all that.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine.
It's interesting because when I put my hand on the joystick, it disconnects my brain from my feet just a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Because I find myself wanting to use the ailerons to correct the steering.
Right, right. So you can see the stock is just kind of hanging down there. We've got, 1 or 2 miles an hour is all we got. We just barely inflated it.
Yeah.
It's not even standing out, so pretty calm conditions. We'll probably get a little bit of a few bumps up top, but it'll be good. We'll have a good flight. Okay, I'm going to reduce power. We're going to start slowing down. And we're going to turn out into this little turn over here and get face the other direction where we can get a look. I'm going to get on the brakes here. All right, that's good. So what we want to do is we want to do our run up right over here, and we want to do our check of the approaching. We're looking for a downwind, base, and final. So anything over in this area all the way around to the final approach potentially would conflict with us.
Would be the downwind final, yeah, or the base turn.
Yeah. So downwind here.
Yep.
Base is perpendicular, and then final is coming right down to the runway.
Very good.
Those are your legs. So we're looking to see if there's anybody here that we got to watch out for.
I understand. Yes.
And it looks pretty good. That guy just took off. He'll be out of our way.
All right.
We do our run up. I'm not going to do the run up on this because, frankly, I did one this morning and I can't reach it. So rather than talk you through it, it'll be fine. We're just going to go with it. These ignition systems never go bad anyway. So
what is a run up on this airplane?
You bring the power up to about 4,000 RPM, and then you just turn each ignition off one at a time. So you turn one side off and make sure that the other ignition is still working.
Okay.
Basically, if one was dead, when you turned the other side off, the engine would die.
Sure.
And you'd have a pretty good indication that there was a problem.
Yes.
Or if the engine started running really crappy on just one side.
Okay.
One of those ignitions is not working properly.
Understand, yeah.
So, run up in this airplane is more challenging because the brakes won't hold.
Ah, yes.
And so what I typically like to do is, on the taxiway, I just, as I'm taxiing, I'll bring the engine up to a higher RPM and check it as I'm driving.
Sure.
But like I say, with the two of us and me sitting in the back, it's a little harder, so we're not going to go through that now.
Yep.
Suffice it to say that I have complete confidence that the engine is fine. It was checked out perfect this morning.
Yes.
And we're not gonna freak out just because we didn't do a run up.
Right.
Okay, so the last thing after we check everything is we do our final check on everything, and I make sure the controls are free, so I just kind of move it around, make sure nothing's not snagging on anything. If I set something down on the floorboard and all of a sudden it's jammed up, I want to know that.
Yeah.
So control check. I check my seatbelt, make sure it's tight and positioned where I want it. I check my chin strap, make sure it's fastened. Every now and then you forget to fasten the chin strap.
Yep.
And I check the visor. So if you pull down on the visor, there's a little click as it's locked. Yeah, so it's locked. And I just make sure it's locked down.
Okay.
That way it won't flip up.
Sure.
You won't need it in the front. The windscreen will keep all the air off you anyway.
Okay.
But it's set up anyway. Okay, and that's what I consider my final check. And then we're going to position out onto the runway. We'd make a radio call to let everybody know we're departing. So if you're ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and take us off.
Okay.
All right.
EGTs look low, and looks like we're at 200 on the cylinder head temp.
Good. So the engine is warmed up. We've been idling for a while. Engine's nice and warmed up, so we're ready to go. EGTs are always going to be low at idle.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not until you get up half hour or so that they really start being useful. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of swing out here just for a second, check to make sure no one snuck up on us and we're clear. Okay, I got the stick. We're going to get position on the center line.
Okay.
Make sure that the airplane is tracking correctly.
Okay.
And then we're just going to throttle up and go. And I'm just going to smoothly bring the power up and accelerate. All right, here we go. Power's coming up. I'm going to track the center line using the rudder. Notice I'm not doing anything with the stick yet. I'm letting the airplane accelerate. When I get to above 40, I'm going to apply a little bit of back pressure to rotate and take us off. So we're at 45, the plane's ready to fly. A little bit of back pressure, and we're flying. And I'm going to climb out at about 50. Now notice that airspeed indicator has two scales. a couple other airplanes in the pattern. One guy just reported right base. And I'm not sure where the other guy is. So we want to start watching for him.
Okay.
Now we're all at about the same altitude. And anything that's at your altitude while in the air is going to appear to be right on the horizon or very close to it. So that's what we're looking for traffic is on the horizon. Really kind of sucks because they blend in with the clutter on the horizon.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for traffic. Okay, turn us to the left a little bit more so we parallel the runway. You see the runway over there? Okay, good, right about there. Now you can see the guy on final. He's just almost ready to fly into that shadow off the end of the runway over there. If you look out at about our 2 o'clock, you can see the white numbers painted on the runway.
I see.
Yeah, he's just about to touch the number. Alright, so we're on a downwind, and we're just going to fly this downwind here.
Yep.
We're really slow, so we got to make sure that no one creeps up behind us and overtakes us. Okay, we're starting to kind of turn away for a little bit, so...
Oh.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 42553, 10 miles south, I'll be straight in for 33.
I had actually let go. I thought you were flying,
Oh,
but now I'm back on.
there you go. So that one guy called in 10 miles south. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So we're going to fly a little bit tighter pattern because we're so slow. There's no need to go quite out as far as everybody else does. Meadow Lake traffic, Challenger 4430 Romeo on base 33, Meadow Lake. Normally you'd be a little further away from runway with this.
Meadow Lake traffic, lands 19 kilos, turn right base 33, full stop Meadow Lake.
Dude, see, he's right behind us. He doesn't even know we're here. He's turning base behind us. He ran us down and overtook us. Meadow Lake traffic, Challenger 4430 Romeo, turning final 33, full stop Meadow Lake. This guy's like, oh, you cut me off. That's alright. We'll get out of his way. So this is not...
Meadow Lake traffic, Skyline 42553, I am 7 miles south, I'm straight in for runway 33, Meadow Lake.
19 kilos, turn on final 33, Meadow Lake.
We'll get off the runway here.
Yeah.
So hard to kind of talk about making approaches and all that when there's a lot of busy traffic going on.
Sure.
That's a conversation that I'll have to go another time. All right. So we're down. We survived the excitement.
That was great.
Why don't you go ahead and taxi
Meadow Lake
back.
traffic, 553,
Turn that radio all the way
5 miles south.
Down or?
That's fine. Yeah, that's good. It's just, you know, it's loud now.
Sure.
Okay, so you got the rudders. I'll work the throttle.
Okay.
Meadow Lake traffic, lands 19 kilos, clearing it out 14.
Meadow Lake 553, 3 mile final.
the clock. Didn't seem like 40 minutes, did it?
No, it really didn't. If I'm a little bit quiet, I'll probably talk a little more after the headset's
Meadow
on.
Lake 553, short final for 3-3, full stop.
Okay, what is that guy? Is that a guy right in front of us? I can't really see.
Yeah, he's going away from us.
Okay, so we're going the same way.
We are.
Okay, good. All right, I got the runners. So when we cross the runway here, the biggest thing is we just got to make sure there's nobody else on the runway.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be in their way and we'll freak them out. There was a guy calling on final, and I see him on the runway. See him way down there? He just touched down. He's
Yeah.
gonna roll out.
Yeah, he is.
So he'll either go around or he'll turn off, or whatever. We'll just as soon as
Meadow
we.
Lake traffic, Skylane 42553 is on the runway.
Runway Middle Lake, you have your
553, roger.
So once he does something,
Sure.
either taxis off or takes off or something like that, then we'll go ahead and cross.
Meadow Lake traffic, Skylane 42553 is clear of the runway, Alpha 4. This is 553, I'm reading you loud and clear.
The aircraft asking for the radio check. Are you just now crossing the runway?
No, he's stopping on the wrong guy.
You're loud and clear.
Okay, that key switch, just turn it all the way to the left until it kills the engine. All right, we're done.
Very good. Thank you much.
Yeah.
Pretty hard, but that's why I've kind of been a little quiet.
Okay.
With the helmet on and everything, it's kind of...
Well, I don't see that big RV grin on your face like you're going to talk about.
Motion sickness is a lot different when you're flying as a passenger and when you're actually on the controls. You'll find you'll get over it very quickly as you're flying.
Yeah.
Ready to roll, Jeff.
Man,
Get out of here,
quick.
man.
Sir?
Yep. We got her all packed up. Let me tell you, man. She is nothing but trouble.
Trouble.
Wow.
She called you trouble, Nicolai.
Trouble.
All I did was turn your phone in my
trouble.
iPod.
She drove me crazy. Yeah. I chased her all over the place trying to keep her from wandering off. You solo this? You don't solo for that.
Dad,
What?
can't get back.
Okay, I'll step back in a second. We're waiting for balance.
Yeah. Like, because you're coming down to the Michigan. You're at the right climb angle in there. No,
Is this considered a tricycle or is it
Und
let's see.
Immediately turned, closed the pattern in because I knew I was going to be down quick anyway. And same thing. Never saw me, or didn't care, never did anything, no S-turn, nothing to try to create a little more space. He just barreled right ahead. Gonna chew me up.
Well, he could have just went over the top and landed in front of you.
I thought about being kind of a little bit spiteful and just dragging the whole runway as slow as I could. Be like, we're gonna see who wins this fight here. You probably do.
So you're gonna go back?
Yep.
Fly back. You're gonna come back here. I got everything packed up. Everything's done. I can't roll over the hangar door because I'd be locked in there because he locked all the doors. So I can't get out.
Can you pop it down now?
No, it's the open the button. So I'll just shut the door. We'll give him a call, let him know. But you'll follow me down that way and come back from there.
Can you lock that inside door? Or do you want just to take your airplane real quick? I'll just drive. I'll go pick you up. Well, I'm gonna boogie on.
Well, it's really nice to meet you. See you in person. Yeah.
All that stuff like split and see. And I got a little box that I'll never get. Don't put on duct tape. That's bad news. That goes on one. They've been on there since the red building. And I peeled it off, took the paint off with it. And but worst of all is that's the damn sticky residue.
Yeah.
And if I can get it off with this tape anyway, but this is getting too hard. It's about an inch at a time.
Oh, right.
It's horrible. Top and bottom of both things took forever.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm gonna have to lay down for a while. I'm really off. I get motion sickness pretty bad sometimes. Did you see? Oh, he's yeah, roller coasters, or if I turn upside down for a period of time working on a car the wrong way. And it doesn't take much, and then I'm gone for the rest of the day. And I felt it sneak up on me, but there's nothing I can do about it. And usually I take medicine for it, but I forgot to bring it, so I'll just. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll probably sit down, maybe lay down on there. Just try to be still. Maybe get some water. I do have some water in the car. Oh. That is more pleasure. Yeah. Oh. I'll probably take that on my be on the right passenger seat. It's on the passenger seat. Thank you. Yeah.
That's a two. No, it's already done.
Really?
I went to Leadville 2 weeks ago and it was in full. And now all the stuff on the front range is just the leaves are falling now. A week late.
Well,
Yeah, when you get your Kansas people here, you know, you don't understand. It doesn't last long.
yeah, I understand that. I just don't know when the season is.